know this world with the help of our senses, and these sense organs will help us to find out what's going on around us. Out of all these senses, the sense of sight is the one of the most important senses. It helps us to see things around us like mountains, rivers, trees, plants, chair, people, and so many other things. During daytime, you can see clouds, rainbow, birds flying in the sky, and at night we see the moon and stars. Now you are able to watch this video. And the question comes, how is seeing made possible? Have you ever thought how we see various objects? We know eyes help us to see object. But can you see an object in the dark? No. It means that eyes alone cannot see any object. We need light to see any object. When light falls upon or is emitted by an object, our eyes detect that light and the object becomes visible to us. The light may have been emitted by the object or may have been reflected by it. Light is a form of energy which is responsible for the sense of sight in the human eyes. Light can be called as a radiation that is emitted, reflected, or absorbed by different objects. Let's find out how light is reflected with the help of a mirror. Mirror is a glass having a shiny or polished surface. Mirror has two surfaces, one reflective surface and the another one which is the polished surface. When light falls on the mirror, it is reflected back. It means mirror can change the direction of light that falls upon it. Let's perform a simple activity to see how light is reflected by a plain mirror. For this, take a white sheet of paper and fix it on a table or a drawing board. Place a strip of plain mirror in the center of the paper. Now throw a beam of light from a torch on the plain mirror. What do you observe? Here you can see the light ray strike the mirror first and is reflected in another direction. In this case, the light ray which strike the surface is called the incident ray, and the ray which comes back from the surface after reflection is called the reflected ray. When this ray of light strike a surface and bounce back, this is called reflection of light. Now draw lines showing the position of plain mirror, incident ray and the reflected ray on the piece of paper. Draw a line making an angle of 90 degrees to the line representing the mirror at the point where the incident ray strike the mirror. This line is known as the normal. So, normal is an imaginary line that is drawn perpendicular to the reflecting surface at the point where the incident ray strike the surface. This point is called the point of incidence. The angle between the normal and the incident ray is called the angle of incidence, while the angle between the normal and the reflected ray is known as the angle of reflection. Angle of incidence is represented by I, while the angle of reflection is represented by R. And you will find that angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. So, in that activity, we took a sheet of paper and spread it on a table. This sheet of paper represents one plane. It means the incident ray, the normal, at the point of incidence and the reflected ray all are in this plane. It means on the paper. So it proves that the incident ray, the normal and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. So these are called laws of reflection. So there are two laws of reflection. As per the first law, the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection are always equal to each other. And the second law states that the incident ray, the reflected ray and normal all lie in the same plane. So, depending on the reflective surface, reflection of light is of two types. First is regular reflection and second is diffuse reflection. Regular reflection is also called specular reflection. When parallel rays of light fall on a smooth surface, they are reflected back as parallel rays, which result in the formation of an image. Reflection of light by a plane mirror and reflection of light by a still water surface are examples of regular reflection. Second type of reflection is diffuse reflection, which is also called irregular reflection. When parallel rays of light fall upon an irregular or rough surface, they are reflected back into all the directions. Reflection of light from a wall or a paper is an example of diffuse reflection. And we can reflect a reflected light again. Yes, this phenomena is called multiple reflection, and it can be obtained by placing more than one mirrors at certain angles to each other, and which will result in reflection of light multiple times between the reflecting surfaces. You must have observed this phenomena of multiple reflection in different scenarios, like in case of periscope. Periscope is an instrument that is used to look at objects that are not in line of sight of the observer. Two plane mirrors are used in periscope, and the light is reflected from these two plane mirrors, which help us to see objects which are not visible directly. Same when you go for a haircut in a salon and you sit in front of a mirror, and when your haircut is done, the hairdresser hold a mirror behind you to show how your hair has been cut. So, how is this possible to see the back of your head? Yes, that is also because of multiple reflection. To obtain multiple reflection, take two plane mirrors and set them at right angle to each other with their edges touching to hinge them with some adhesive tape. Place an object in between the two mirrors. Now, look into the mirror and see how many images do you see. In this case, we see 3 images. Now, change the angle between the two mirrors and find out the number of images. Now keep both the mirrors parallel to each other and place the object between both the mirrors. In this case, the angle between both the mirrors is 0, and it forms infinite number of images because the light keeps on reflecting from one mirror to second and then second to first, which result in the formation of multiple images. Hope you enjoyed learning today. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.